Good evening and welcome to Scrapbooking with a Twist. This evening we are going to make an embellishment and I will show you one. Let me grab one that's done over here. Here's one. Here's one that's finished. Little kiddo in the bathtub. This is for an embellishment swap. And if you go over to Ginger's Corner, you can find out about her embellishment swap. She has embellishment swaps. She has card swap. She has a main embellishment swap, which is what this is for. And she has a mini embellishment swap, which is just on a smaller scale. But I'm going to do this for the main embellishment swap, and I'm just going to walk you through how I made it. If you put an embellishment this cute on a page, you don't need much else. And so anyway, and every single thing that was used today is a scrap, which is another good way to use your scraps. So we're going to start by just assembling some of the pieces. So I'm going to start and just get the inking over with. And while I do the inking, I will do our twist for this evening. So our twist today comes from 1 John 1:9. And it says, if we confess our sins, he is faithful to forgive us our sins and cleanse us from all unrighteousness. So when we come to the realization that we've sinned, that we've disappointed God, that we've done not what he wants us to, and we ask him to forgive us for our sin, he cleanses us. And I thought that would be kind of cute since we're doing the bathtub and the little kiddos taking a bath. We all need cleansing. And so I thought that would go good with our little embellishment this evening. And when the Spirit of God enters us, we don't want to disappoint God. So when we, by believing that Jesus died for us on the cross and that he paid the price for our sin, that sets us free. And we can have that forgiveness. We have access to that forgiveness. We have to ask for it. We have to believe that, but we have access to that forgiveness. I think that's mind-boggling, but just because it's mind-boggling doesn't mean it isn't true. It is true. All right, so we're just inking everything here today. I already did the little duck. He was kind of tedious. I glued his little wing on there, and I inked around the edges. All I did was use a marker to color in his little bill and a marker to make his eyes. I want to show you what I took this from. Here is the one that I'm doing similar. I didn't do the little hands, but I'm going to show you something different on the bow. I did not cut the hair out. I just drew the hair on. But this is an old Cricut. Let me see what the name of this one is. I think it's Baby Steps, maybe. Yes, Baby Steps. This is an old Cricut where you get the cartridges. It's actually on the front. I didn't realize that. You get the cartridges and you plug the cartridge into the old Cricut machine. I still have one of those old Cricut machines because I have so many of these cartridges and they're precious. And they make cute embellishments. So I've hung on to that all this time. So we are going to assemble all of our pieces first. I cut all the pieces out according to that, or most of them. I actually didn't cut out every single little thing because I'm not going to use all of it. But I cut out the major pieces according to what it told me to do with that. And we're going to assemble the little bathtub first. So I'm going to use foam tape to put the kind of rim around the bathtub so that it has some dimension. Like I said, every single bit of this is from scraps. This was actually some white scrap paper that I had actually used this paper to ink blend something else, and this had the ink blending just off on it. And so I stuck it in my drawer or in my scraps, and I thought, well, that'd be cute for a bathtub. So it was really just a piece of paper that was around the edges where I had ink blended something else. Well, it'll look good, so I'm going to use it. Now, I have already blended around, already inked around the edges of this. I used Stormy Sky on this, and I used Tumbled Glass on that one. You could have used the same one. Actually, I'm going to use a little bit on that other one of both of them. So there's our bathtub. That's all we're going to do to it. I just inked around the edges, put the little rim on it with some foam tape. Here's my little guy, my little fella that's taking the bath, and I'm going to give him a little bit of hair. They had hair that you could cut, but I decided I was just going to draw some hair on. I think I like it better anyway, so. All right, so there's a little bit of hair, a little bit of bathtub hair. This is just a little scrap of brown paper that I had cut that I'm gonna stick behind here to get our eyes and to get some brown behind our eyes and mouth, so that we can see our little eyes. That needs to be trimmed just a tiny bit right there. I don't think it would show, but just in case. Okay, now I want to give him some cheeks. And this is close to my heart, blush. Any pink would work. Sorry about my dogs. It never fails when I start to do something, they decide that's a time to bark. I'm going to give us just a little bit. This is just a little eye makeup brush. Give us a little bit of cheeks here. There we go. So we have our bubbles, we have our bathtub, we've got our little duck. I want to do some inking on this. I want my tumbled glass. These are the back side of all those bubbles. So I want to ink that. Just like that. Get some good color in there. And then I'm going to just use the dauber that was in the Stormy Sky just to barely touch the top side of those, just to give them. And it doesn't hurt that you're getting over to that. This is just the background that we're going to glue everything onto. Okay, so I think we've pretty got, so we're going to go ahead and glue our little baby doll's face on here. Get some glue on that. And glue his little face on there. There we go. Oh, no, I don't want to do that next. I have something else I want to do first. I'm going to take that off. I want to, I could have gone ahead to do that, but I want to do this first. I want to touch this with my glimmer pen first. It just makes it a little easier than going in after you get his face on. It's just a little easier to go in there. And I may go back and hit it again, but this gets everything covered. And then we'll put his little face on there. There we go. Now let's get our little duck on there. I decided not to assemble the duck just to keep this going quickly. But there was a little tiny wing, and it actually cut out the little bill. But I just used a marker on his little bill instead of those tiny, tiny pieces. I even considered using the marker on his little wing, but decided not to. Okay, so those have been inked in brown. I've done the cheeks. I put the brown behind the little face. I've already drawn the eye of the little duck in. I'm gonna darken his eyes just a little, but I'm gonna put some little eyelashes just to give us a little more eyes. There we go. Just to make his eyes show up a little. Let's give him a little turned up nose. Now I'm calling mine a hem. I'm going to show you that you can put a bow on it here in a minute, but all of my little ones are he's. So, all right, so we've got our duck, we've got our little face. Now it's time to put our bathtub on there. So let's get our glue. I use liquid adhesive. You could use your tape runner, your glue guns, but I just think it's easier on this kind of stuff to use a liquid adhesive. I'm going to try to get this pretty close to being right on top where we are. I will go back around and probably touch the edges with the ink, but trying to get it as close on there as I can. Okay, so we're starting to look like a little bathtub scene here. Now I'm going to put I've got the rim of the bathtub on some foam tape, but on this little piece that's going to go right here, the bubbles that are overflowing, I'm going to use also some foam tape. That's, I don't know what that is. Gonna be on, that'll go actually on that edge of the bathtub. And then I had anyway. Let me get another one. Here they are. A pop dot. Now these pop dots are about twice as thick as that foam tape is, which is what I want, because this part is down onto the tub, and that'll make it be about the right height. So let's stick our little bubbles on there. You want his little face sticking out from under there like that. Just like that. Now let's go back to our shimmer pen. Get some shimmers. Whoa, that's not the way I want that undone. Get some shimmers on this. I just like those. I like the shimmer on the bubbles. I think my shimmer pen is, there it goes, there it goes. You probably can't see that, but it's really shimmery. I love that. I'm going to just put a little more back here again. Okay. Now, if I had any little girls, I would put that little bow right up there. But I don't. I don't have any little girls. But I will include those in my embellishment swap. Now then, I'm going to show you the first one that I did. This is the first one that I did. And it had cut out the bubbles, which they're cute. I like them. But after I started trying to, because they needed to be inked a little bit, after I started trying to ink those for as many as I was making for this embellishment swap, I thought, why in the world am I not using Nuvo drops or stickles or something? So I decided that I would use the stickles, and I actually liked it. So much, much easier. So we're going to make some bubbles that are falling down over the edge of this bathtub with our stickles. A big one, a medium one, and a little one. So, and then I should have inked this before I did that. I want to just kind of go around the edges to make sure that if that white background is showing anywhere, that it's inked. I don't want to get into my stickles. Like there's a little bit right there. Okay, so like I said, this is for an embellishment swap, and I think these are going to be cute. Let me bring that up where you can see it maybe just a little better, but cute little embellishment swap. And then here I have all of them done. Let me see if I can clear the decks here, and I'll try to show you. I made them out of scrap, so there are several different ones just that I ended up with. I've just got them drying here for the stickles. But I'll pull those up so you can see some of them a little closer. But I think they turned out pretty cute. And I made some for me and some for the swap. So that's what we did today. Thanks for joining me. If you would, give me a thumbs up on my channel. Just help me grow my channel. And have a blessed day. Bye-bye.